This conference will now be recorded.
Hey, welcome everyone. So, in the previous video, you would have seen about the six knowledge areas, and we started describing everything into detail. So, the very first knowledge area was explained, which is nothing but your business analysis, planning, and monitoring. In this segment, let's delve into a little bit more details about the elicitation and collaboration. Before doing that, I would urge you to make sure that you take notes of whatever you get to hear and whatever you feel to be important. The reason why I'm stressing on this point again is because you might find that there are a lot of keywords thrown here and there. Like, when I talk about any particular concept, I might be using some words which would be very useful when you get to use those in your interviews, or when you get to work as a business analyst, and you will miss out all those things if you don't take notes. And let me tell you one more thing. If you think, okay, I'll take screenshots of whatever slides are being used, and then I'll just refer to that, again, you're going to miss a lot of things, because unlike the other trainers and all those people, I don't just read out everything from slides. I don't put everything on the slides. For me, these are more like pointers to just remind me of that, okay, this is the major point, and then I use example. I spend more time explaining and getting into those details. So just mere screenshots of these slides will not help you. Take notes and use it effectively later. You will really thank me later when you will be able to just take few minutes and scroll through and revise all the major points from your notes. You don't have to really go through all these videos and spend hours and hours together. Okay, now let's get back to our topic. So yeah, elicitation and collaboration. So this is the second knowledge area. Again, yeah, I got reminded. So when I say keywords, how do those make a difference? Is uh, giving you an example for like maybe I can say requirements gathering, and some other person may say requirements elicitation. Now, elicitation is a little beyond just gathering, but still it can be used synonymously with requirements gathering. Okay, so definitely when you use a heavy word like elicitation, it makes a bigger impact on the other person, right? So that is where the keywords become very important, and that's the reason I'm stressing. You make note of any new words that you come across. Maybe you can search a little more on it and you can get more information. It'll help you that way, and also it'll help you to, if you remember these words, and use it in your answers for the interview and all. Okay, back to the topic. So elicitation collaboration is that knowledge area which focuses on what are the processes and techniques that you use to capture information from stakeholders, and you analyze those needs of the behind the business requirements, and have that effective communication through the BA process. This again constitutes many things. It starts with stakeholder identification, which is nothing but you need to, after having planned and put up a monitoring list as per the previous knowledge area. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to identify who are the major stakeholders with whom you have to interact to derive those business requirements and get more details. Okay, so that would be the first step. Then you decide, okay, these are the set of people, four or five or nine or whatever it is. There are a list of people who would be forming your core stakeholders. Now you have to find out how do you engage with these stakeholders. Like, what is the different, what specific elicitation technique that you can use to derive the information from them. Sometimes it could be, or rather most of the times it could be the workshops that you conduct with them. Sometimes it could be virtual meetings. Sometimes it could be that you share the list of questions and you get the response from them, which is also similar to what they call as survey technique. So there are different techniques. We'll get into that in details later. But this particular engagement section is nothing but you have identified the set of stakeholders. Now you need to find out what is the way in which you get to interact with them. The next thing is you'll plan as to how do you conduct. Okay, you understood that these are stakeholders. Workshop is a technique for this particular set of stakeholders. Now the next thing is, okay, how do you conduct? What is the duration of each workshop? How frequently you have these workshops with the stakeholders? Okay, then you might have already decided which technique to use, and you have planned the schedule of having the interactions. Now in these interactions you get the information from the stakeholders, right? You are going to document. Again, when you document, how are you going to do it? It could be user stories, it could be BRD, it could be FRD, or sometimes it could be a process flow diagram. If we look at our food delivery app, now how about creating a flow chart, like where will the customer start and where will the journey end? So maybe you can say it starts with the customer actually logging into the mobile app. So first customer logs in, then enters the password, and then authentication happens, and then the customer comes onto the landing page. There the customer searches for a particular restaurant or searches for a particular food item. Then you display the results, maybe 10 in a page and 10 in another page. All those things. Then customer makes a selection, then goes to the item, views what are the additional options that can be added, maybe quantity, maybe add-ons, maybe beverages, etc. Then goes to the click on add to cart, and then clicks on proceed to checkout, and then makes a payment. So this is all a flow chart, right? So now, putting all of these things, you can of course create a huge list of requirements in a bullet points and run into pages, or you can create a flow chart which also captures all of these information. So how do you document? That would be the step. And then once you have documented, it's not enough, because okay, I've created a flowchart, but how can I be sure that the flowchart which I have with around say 15 steps of this journey is completely accurate? How do I know that? So I need to get the confirmation from the uh, stakeholders, right? So how do I get it? Is it like a written approval that I get from them, or do I get it on an email, or I discuss again in one final workshop and get a oral confirmation from them? It could be in different ways, right? And you must be aware of what sort of confirmation will really help you in the long run. Also, it will help you to mitigate or reduce the misunderstandings at a later point of time, because or else what happens is, you captured the details, you have documented it, and the development starts, and then your stakeholders may say, hey Ranjit, you know what, I have told you this particular thing, but I don't see that in your whatever has got developed. And then you say, no, I was really aware of whatever details I've captured. You didn't highlight this point. And then they may say, no, I did really mention, you forgot about it. So this sort of, miscommunication can be totally ironed out if you have an approval process in place. So that's the reason you document, get the approval, and keep a clear communication with the stakeholders, because uh, there is no human mistake, but sometimes what happens is the requirements get enhanced in due course of time. Maybe initially you were told that maybe customers should be able to search based on the restaurant name and the food item. Okay, maybe you should be able to search based on food item name or the name of the restaurant. Now down the line he might say, no, no, customer should be able to search based on additional parameters like burgers in this particular city, or pizzas in this particular suburb. That could be an expectation. Now this might not have been discussed at all before. It has come up all of a sudden after a few months of your project. So if you maintain that clear communication, it is possible for you to agree or mildly disagree or take it to the next phase, all those things. But if you snap away that communication after your initial discussions are over, it becomes a little difficult to sort out the things. And of course, you need a sort of a stakeholder collaboration in the process. What do I mean that by that is, there could be some tough situations which you can come across, where the requirements which are being shared could be a little conflicting. For example, the marketing representative from the client side may say that we should also drive a campaign, something like buy one get one free. Whereas your finance team's representative may say that no, this leads to losses, at least in the short term. So it's better not to go for it. Now, both of them are coming up with some conflicting requirements, right? So how do you really deal with it? It again depends on your stakeholder collaboration, right? So you need to know which one is more important or how to get these sorted out. Who is that final decision maker? All of these things. So that's where your managing stakeholder collaboration comes into picture. After doing this, of course, this leads to having a consensus. Like first of all the stakeholders agree on the requirements, then you get it documented, then you get a final confirmation from them, and then you take it across for development. This requires you to have that ability to build that collaborative relationship with the all stakeholders. Okay, so elicitation and collaboration is more or less about this particular knowledge area, which talks about uh, right from identifying the set of stakeholders till the point of ensuring that everyone is on the same page and there is a common consensus built around what is supposed to be uh, delivered or what is supposed to be launched as part of a software application. So this is all about it. Okay, I hope you are clear with this point and you are taking good enough notes during the process. Of course, you can pause, you can listen again. All those things are of course obviously there. Okay, so make use of it. So we'll get into the third knowledge area, which is the requirements lifecycle management, in the next video. Thanks everyone.